Welcome back, everybody. Another one of the big topics people seem to question me on or ask about is filming. What am I using to film around the warehouse when I'm working on the Sonics or when I'm in the aircraft to film my lessons? Two different answers there. Right now, I'm filming on a older model Panasonic camcorder. I believe it's a SD90, and basically, yeah, it's an old 1080 HD camera that still works fantastic, to be honest with you. I own some other high-level cameras for my other business that I do filming with and whatnot too, but this is perfectly adequate. You guys don't need to invest in a ton of camera gear. You can work with the cameras on your phones nowadays are phenomenal, to say the least. But I ended up with GoPros. Basically, I started with GoPros a number of years ago. I also just bought this little Pelican case to carry my GoPros around because, well, they can get banged up if you're not careful. So my oldest GoPro is a Hero 4. I believe it's a silver. And great little camera still, to be honest with you. Doesn't have a lot of the features of some of the newer ones, but for the most part, still a fantastic camera. I shoot in 1080, 60 frames per second for basically everything, and at this point I don't see me needing anything more than that. 4K is all the rage, and 8K is going to be coming down the road soon, but the truth is most people aren't doing that. Most people can't discern between one or the other, and 1080 is perfectly fine for anything that's going to be viewed on computers and even moderately sized TVs through, say, YouTube apps and whatnot. So that's my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a film major, and I'm definitely not a super techie, so I can't tell much of the difference until you get into enormous screens. So that's my opinion again, and that's what I'm going to stick with, doing what I know. And there might be a better way, and if you know better ways, list them in the descriptions below or the questions and comments below, and I will do my best to follow along and learn with you guys. So anyways, this is what I started filming my flight lessons with, was this single GoPro. This is a cable that I started out with for audio with the GoPro 4 in the beginning, and I bought this on Amazon. I thought I paid fair money for it, and it ended up having a problem just a few flights in. So I ended up going with a, it's a Nflightcam. Okay, so the letter N, Nflightcam, their cables. That's what I'm using now. This junk, I will try and post a comment or a description or a link to this one, and with the words "not to buy it" next to it in the description below. Didn't last long at all. But the Nflightcam Pro, or the Nflightcam cables, have been working flawlessly since then, and I am dozens of lessons beyond that. The other cameras I'm using are a couple of Hero 8s. I went to a Hero 8 for a second camera, and when it came time to buy another camera, I couldn't justify spending the extra money to go to a Hero 10 or anything. For the extra features weren't going to be that much, they weren't going to be that important to me. So I ended up getting a second Hero 8. I love these cameras. I like the in-frame stability feature, or smoothing, or boost, or whatever they want to call it. It works awesome. I will generally hang this one between the pilot, co-pilot, from the ceiling headed forward. And what I like about this is, with the smoothing feature, it doesn't, your picture doesn't go all wonky As the plane changes pitch, the camera doesn't change pitch instantly. It catches up, so it crops your photos. It crops in on your photos a little bit so that it has the additional perimeters to adjust the smoothing, as they call it, and that works fantastic. So I bought a second Hero 8 that I plan on mounting on the glare shield facing forward, because I've found that with the image stabilization, quite often you end up looking down towards the panel a little bit more, or to the back of my instructor's head, to the back of my head, and whereas that's perfectly fine for me because I know what's going on, it doesn't make for great viewing for you guys. So what I will end up doing is probably posting the main out the front camera as the main image, and then a couple of inserts, which is going to be the expressions of me and my instruction. Camera number, one of the inserts will be facing me and my instructor, and then another insert will be sort of, giving you the feeling of the plane rolling. I really don't do these for entertainment value, but I'm also a little bit of a nerd, so I want to experiment and play with it as long as it doesn't distract me from flying. So I think that if I get another camera and it's a GoPro, I think I will go with the 360. Basically, I can think of a couple creative uses for that later on in my flying. Mainly probably below the fuselage, tipped forward, but not straight forward, but tilted down. I think that would be a great place to put a 360 because you could just pan the entire area below the aircraft. There are a lot of great sport cameras out there these days, and significantly smaller than the GoPro format for sure. I've just been working with this for a while and I'm comfortable with it, so that's what I stick with. And one of the things I really like about using GoPros is the ridiculous amount of accessories that people make for them. I have a chest harness. I want to say I think I've got a head strap harness. I've got a ton of these suction cup things. Well, maybe not a ton, 3, maybe 4 of them. From smaller, inexpensive, something a little fancier with like a ram swivel ball mount. That's a nice feature. But recently what I've decided is there's only a few places in the plane that I want to put cameras, and reinstalling these and readjusting everything to get the views I want on a regular basis just takes way too much time, and I really need to be concentrating on pre-flighting the aircraft and getting in and flying the plane and not thinking about cameras. So I bought these from Amazon. They are, I don't know, swivel extension mounts, whatever you want to call them. Obviously I have ends on these now that didn't come with them, but these segments here, they're made out of aluminum. They're a lot stronger than a lot of the injection molded plastic parts, and in fact they're aluminum, and they come with these little wrenches, which you could, these are pretty durable. I haven't broken one yet, but you could 3D print one if you needed a replacement. But basically, once I've got the cameras mounted where I want them, and that involves using the quick connect receivers. You can buy those really inexpensively. They usually come with a little 3M tape for each unit, and you can place those little female receivers wherever you want to mount a camera in the plane. Then I use the male receivers, or the male quick connects on one end, and I bought some additional aluminum quick connect receivers for the other end of these. And once I get these where I want them, and I use the wrench to tighten these down really securely because the parts are aluminum, so I'm not worried about, you know, snapping the cheap plastic. And basically, so if I've got something mounted, I want to say, I think this is the one I'm using up overhead. So I've got the quick connect up there. I snap this into the quick connect, and I will leave that there in the aircraft because I really don't use the GoPros anywhere else. So then when this is mounted in the aircraft, all I physically got to do is come up and then just pop the camera in, and that camera is going to be located exactly where I want it every single time, as long as I have all the joints completely tightened. And then when I'm done flying, I pull my battery pack accessory cable off, turn off my camera obviously, and then I just need to release the quick release, slide the camera out, and put it back in my Pelican case, and I'm done flying. And then I go in, I do my logbook, I debrief with my instructor, and I'm not wasting a whole lot of extra time gathering my camera gear after a lesson. It's quick and easy, it's repeatable, and that's what I like. I like consistency. That's what I use. One GoPro Hero 4, two GoPro Hero 8s, and when I'm around the warehouse filming the Sonics project, it is the Panasonic SD90, and for some stuff I just grab my phone if I want to do a quick close-up or something like that. So if you like these videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share these with your friends. Thank you.